Hey everyone, welcome back. Your coach here, you're Pauline at the studio. Today we are going to cover the connection breath. The connection breath is a beautiful technique that I use to primarily with my postpartum clients to rehabilitate the synchronicity between the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. But truly this can be used for anybody because it is a very important part of just being able to breathe. Okay, breath is the cornerstone of life. Without breath, we are dead. And unfortunately, most of us are doing it wrong. We see a lot of chest-centered breathing. The best example you can get is those old-timey movies where the heroine is in a push-up bra and she's breathing, right? So they're breathing through the chest, lifting their shoulders to breathe. You also see this in exercise. People will breathe like this. This is absolutely incorrect. If you know the shape of a lung is sort of a teardrop shape. So when we breathe from the top of the lungs, we're trying to expand the smallest portion of the lungs rather than the largest portion of the lungs, okay? So what we want to do is we want to do deep belly and diaphragmatic breathing. How we do this, well, I'll go ahead and show you. Okay, so ideally, especially when you're in athletics, but just in general, you're going to want to open up, you're going to want to fill up your diaphragm as a drum, like a drum. If your lungs end here, your diaphragm is here, okay? And what's going to happen is that when you breathe in, you're going to expand your belly and fill up that diaphragm, filling it up, bringing the lungs all the way down and expanding. You're going to breathe through your back, breathe through the belly, right through the bottom of the ribs here, through your back, through the bottom of the belly. And then you're also going to breathe through your butthole. I know it sounds very strange, but that's it. On a full expansion, that's how we do it, okay? So you're going to breathe. Everything expands, your pelvic floor relaxes and expands, your diaphragm goes down, and then on the exhale, our pelvic floor is going to contract up, and as is our diaphragm. It's almost like you're squeezing air out of a tube from the bottom going to the top. The way that we employ the pelvic floor is that what we're going to do is we're going to contract our hip bones together. We're going to contract our sits bones together, okay? And we're going to contract our anal sphincter and our vaginal sphincter, our vaginal canal, very lightly, okay? So everything is picking up and lifting. And then on the contraction, okay? As you inhale, the diaphragm expands and relaxes, as does the pelvic floor. And then on the exhale, everything contracts very, very lightly. Okay, the connection breath. You're going to want to do 5 connection breaths. Start it out seated, feeling that contraction in the pelvic floor, lifting up, lifting tall. Do 5 seated, do 5 standing, do 5 standing and pressing down on something like a countertop or a bar. If you have your barbell on the squat rack, you're going to press down on the bar, not away from you, but pressing down. Do your 5. And then finally, last but not least, you get into a lunge position and you do 5 breaths. Okay, that nice connection breath, putting the diaphragm together, everything is expanding and relaxing together, and then everything is lightly contracting and emptying together.